It's your boy Phoenix Sun, coming back to you guys once again with another video. I have plenty more coming soon. Today I just wanted to talk about an experience that I had, spiritual experience that I had, and it involved the Kabballah. Now, okay, there was a time where I took about like 5 grams of shrooms, and I had witnessed myself, like, okay, I saw this being who, he was so huge or so large, I could only see his mouth, but I seen him enunciate the word or the action. He was like, Allah. As he had spoke these things or had said this, I was just watching him. I think I was just an orb of consciousness or something. As he did this, it's like that word Allah had blew my spirit through all these different channels and wombs of creation. Because through the process, as I was going through these channels, I literally witnessed flesh and blood forming around bone, my bone. But I saw it all. So I did some research on that, and now there's a lot of different questions that I've had about the experience, because I'm like, this guy just said the name known to be known by Islam as God. He said Allah. Now I personally am now starting to see the term Allah as an action word representing the breath of life, which is probably the best evidence that we have of God, because we don't even have to think about breathing. It just happens cognitively. So as I had this experience, I did some research, and now you're gonna find these different beings in many different cultures. These beings just have different archetypes, but the truth is universal. So it can be found almost anywhere the truth is being shared. They just have different names and different personifications. So let me look up how to pronounce this guy's name. I personally don't know how, but if you guys are any familiar with the Yoruba traditions, such as the Orishas. Now, how do you pronounce this name? I think it's Alaramari, also known as Alaran, and Alofi are different aspects of the same spiritual being. Now, Alaramari, also known as Alaran, is one of the manifestations of the Supreme Creator God in Yoruba religion. Now, he's supposedly known as the owner of source creation and the source of all, and is also have known to be the breathing. Hold on. He is known as the God that breathes. His breath is responsible for creation. It says, now, the process of Alaramar breathing life into the clay figures Okay. So, he is known for his life-sustaining breath. So there is, mind you, these are energies. The thing is that we have done as human beings, we have personified a lot of these energies when most times they represent a frequency or a spirit. So the entire time I'm experiencing this, I can literally feel the pain of becoming physical. I was a spirit at first. Now, there was also an experience that I had where I saw Yemaya. Now, Yemaya was like a blue fish-like being, but she had a black woman facial features. She was actually a pretty beautiful dolphin. And she was as far away as the moon, but trust me, she was as big as the moon. Like, far away, but she was close, she was huge. And I can tell that there was some type of translucent layer that separated us. And I believe that that might have either been frequency, or I could have been like an amoeba in a womb of some sort, because I was just literally, I could literally feel myself being in water, surrounded by water, and in the far off distance there was this dark pink bluish mist, right? And as I look above me, there's this layer of something. It kind of would look like glass or frozen glass or something like that. Now, wherever she was at, she would swim to the bottom of where she was at to come down and look through this translucent layer, and would keep coming to check on me with a smile on her face. At the time, I had no idea who this being was. I just felt an infinite amount of love and familiarity between both of us. So, but I couldn't familiarize who she was when I came out of that. So what happened was, when I explained it and described it to my girl, she's like, yo, that sounds like Yemaya. And I'm like, Yemaya? Who is Yemaya? So we start doing research, and I'm learning about the Orishas and everything like that, the Dogon tribe, and in which Yemaya is known to be a Dogon goddess. She's technically a Nomo. Nomo are beings that come from the star Sirius, which is also known as the spiritual sun of this planet. So, come to find out, there was a video that I watched probably 10 times throughout the past year, recent to me experiencing that, by Seven Bomar, titled Yemaya and Atum. Now, a lot of the time, sometimes I might not even always understand exactly what he's saying, because the knowledge is so profound. You can literally continue going back to one of his videos and learn something new every time you listen to it. You can keep replaying the same video and you will learn something new. So I would listen to this video over and over again just because I really appreciated and resonated with the information being given, even though I didn't identify with Yemaya or Atum, and personally didn't do much research on them, probably besides Atum at the time. So once I found out that I had just seen this being that was mentioned by Seven Bomar, that's my guy, you know what I'm saying? When I had realized this, I'm like, yo, Okay, I gotta take a step back and really go listen to that video again. You get what I'm saying? So that was just very interesting. Tripped me out. Come to find out, Yemaya is a part of my spiritual family and is known to be my spiritual mother. So now, on another note, I don't know. My mind just kind of gets spaced out when I think about these things because I return to those memories, and those memories, they supersede what is capable of happening in this plane. So I also saw Kali Ma. This wasn't off of shrooms. This was in a dream. But something told me to do more research on Kali. So I did. And I go to sleep. Mind you, I was just looking at the moon that night. It was a full moon. I decided to go to sleep. And I had an experience with me kind of dancing with her. She was in the sky. I was on the ground. She was standing in front of the moon. Well, floating in front of the moon. But she had a nice smile on her face. And I could see that there was a web that would otherwise be viewed as a network of energy that not only connected between her and I, but it connects with the entire planet. It connects with everyone on this planet, every living being possible. Throughout this process of me kind of, having a joyful dance with her, I would see green and yellow orbs of light travel from this web, this net, from my energy field to hers and from her energy field to mine. And we were just in correspondence. So really, pretty much the reason why I give people these experiences and let them know about them is because I want them to know that this life is much more than we are able to perceive. Now, I know a lot of people might be like, oh man, dude, you were tripping off shrooms. Like, come on now, you were hallucinating. Like, one thing about psilocybin, it's not a stimulant. It's actually a healing substance. It will expose your brain and your consciousness to what's already happening there. Which is why they say, hey dude, if you're not having a good day, don't take no shrooms. You know what I'm saying? Because what you're going through will be magnified. So technically, it enhances your receptors to the psilocybin. The psilocybin doesn't do too much enhancing some otherworldly shit. It doesn't do that. It enhances your awareness and ability to perceive, because what it does is it restructures and recalibrates the brain back to its closer to its original state. And like Dr. Sebi said, shrooms will help a black man return to the same consciousness that we had before we became slaves, before 1492 in America. It would help bring you to that much of a healthier state mentally. But it is a process. It's not all flowers and butterflies. You know what I'm saying? So, next video I will be discussing my blog post requested by Shayla Chanel. She asked me to cover the topic of what I think about the Big Bang Theory, as I posted on Pyramid Media 369. That is on Tumblr. You can check that out, read what I have to say. I spoke about the Kabballah. I spoke about the arm, leg, arm, head, how we are the Allahs. Bobby Hemmett also said the same thing as well. And the pentagon shape, the 5-point star, which represents also the dimensionality of the root chakra, which is responsible for procreation in this physical realm. So that has a lot to do with why we have 5 points: arm, leg, leg, arm, head, which represents Allah. So my perspective on the word Allah, I don't think we fully know the name of the true source God. And I wouldn't know whether that being is Allah, Yod-Beof, Allah-Mar. Clearly was Allah-Mar, because I had 2 experiences with Orishas. Pretty much, I could tie the experience I had with Yemaya to Allah-Mar at least, because they give him the same description that I experienced, and this is before I even knew about these beings. You get what I'm saying? So I'm coming from a place of experience and not a place of suggestion. You know what I mean? So thoroughly, the agenda that I'm just trying to present here is to, man, it is totally okay to open up your mind. People will look at you crazy. People will call you crazy. People will think you're weird. You get what I'm saying? But it doesn't serve me none. So that's all I wanted to share today. I will have more for you guys most likely tomorrow. I appreciate you. I just uploaded an article about the tree of life and the tree of death. I talked about the Kabballah and the reverse Kabbalah. Check that out. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll be covering that on the next one of my next few videos. The next one I have to do for the request that I got for the Big Bang Theory and as above, so below consciousness. So thank you guys for tuning in. I got plenty more coming. I'm just scratching the surface at this point. I appreciate y'all. One love.